Welcome, dear traveler of time. Before we walk among the sacred creatures of ancient Egypt, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next peaceful journey through history. Yes, even gods appreciated the offerings, but today the offerings are simple. Your presence, your curiosity, and the gentle hum of history. Now breathe, relax your shoulders. Let's step into a world where animals were divine, loved, protected, and sometimes spoiled. The Nile's edge teems with life: fish, birds, reptiles, mammals. For ancient Egyptians, these creatures weren't just animals, they were manifestations of divine power. A heron's flight echoed Ra's journey across the sky. A lion's roar echoed Sekhmet's fiery wrath. A falcon's dive proclaimed Horus's dominion over the land. Homes became sacred menageries. Cats lounged on linen cushions, ibises preened in courtyards, and cobras curled in secret shrine corners. But it wasn't all grandeur. There was humor, too. Imagine a priestess chasing a mischievous ibis around the temple because the bird decided that this papyrus scroll was a better perch than its golden stand. Let's begin with the most beloved, the cat, Bastet's earthly avatar. Egyptians worshipped cats with statues, amulets, and celebrations. At home, cats had ivy wreaths, and rumor has it they sometimes knocked over a jar or two just to see if you'd wake up. Killing a cat accidentally or on purpose was punishable by death, which is one reason some prankster neighbors would borrow a cat just to watch the city panic. They even mummified cats by the thousands. Some were votive offerings. Pet lovers praying for health or luck sent their cat's remains to the temple. Other times, cats were kept alive, pampered until old age, and then gently laid to rest with food and fanfare. One kitten, hieroglyphs tell us, once ordered its servant to bring extra fish, because I deserve it, obviously. We don't know if it's true, but the scroll was too elegant to dispute. A falcon overhead, swift, regal, was Horus's symbol. Temple roofs had falcon statues, eyes carved on walls to watch over the city. Falcon priests raised chicks by hand in temple courtyards. The babies would hatch in baskets lined with papyrus and reeds. One account tells us an apprentice priest accidentally taught his falcon to call his name. So in the dead of night, the falcon would squawk, "Tut, tut, tut," and the entire temple woke in alarm, only to realize a bird was playing tricks. Falcon feeders became skilled fish-to-hand jugglers, balancing fish on staff ends to satisfy their fidgety charges. Sacred birds were not pets, they were living gods. No leash, no cage, but plenty of fish. The Nile hides a secret. Sobeck, god of the crocodile. Small temples along the riverbanks housed tame crocs, padded with straw, revered, feared. Legend tells of one crocodile named Sobekotep who would bait itself on fishermen's huts and then bury them, in mud and worship before drifting away. Everyone said he was soberingly devout. People offered bits of fish and fowl, even treasure dipped bread. To disrespect him was to invite misfortune, or worse. But life wasn't all fear. On festival days, priests would dress as Sobeck, parading through streets, snapping oversized papier-mâché jaws at delighted crowds. Domestic birds, ducks, geese, were cherished for food, feathers, and companionship. One tale speaks of Nefertari texting. Oops, sorry, texting isn't a thing. Instead, she is said to have had a choir of geese that honked in perfect harmony. Tourists, we mean traders, came from afar to pay ear-birdingly high prices just to hear them squawk. Geese feathers became quills for scribes. If your pen bled with goose feather ink, well, you must have been either a serious poet or running late. Ducks were less revered, more dinner, but ducks also starred in comedic temple plays, priests in duck costumes, performing bridge scenes with Falcon priest guest stars. Yes, rodents were present too, though seldom honored. Some pharaohs built granaries with rodent guards, cats mostly, but stories abound of great cat burglaries. When kings awoke to find their gold stash chewed, temple archives mention a scribe who wrote note to self by mousetrap. And yet, once in a century, a mouse scurried into a shrine and escaped unharmed. Some claimed it was a divine trickster sent by Thoth to remind them even small beings deserve attention. Massive, regal, rare elephants strode into Egypt from Nubia and Punt. They were gifts for pharaohs, ambassadors of might and diplomacy. One procession story, an elephant ambassador, needed 500 men to lead it across the desert. When it sneezed, the ground shook, and everyone prayed it wasn't in a temple. They wore decorative howdahs and headdresses and sipped from golden basins as servants inched forward, offering royal dates on golden trays. Did Egyptians ride them? Not usually, but they certainly admired. Hieroglyphs show elephants trampling crocodiles, symbolizing triumph over chaos, which is one way to clear your morning meditation. Today I will trample chaos. Frogs, small, wet, but teeming with symbolism. In spring, millions hatched near the Nile. A life explosion celebrated by Hecate, the frog goddess of fertility. Temple art shows children holding frogs, ancient equivalent of "look what I caught." Mothers would collect tadpoles, feed them in little jars, watch them turn into frogs, and think, wow, nature's own magic trick. Frog moans filled greening marshes as farmers danced, grateful for fertility. Frog charm amulets were worn to invite abundance or to keep serenading frogs quiet at night, scuttling along walls, lizards, keepers of vermin, small wonders of survival, scarab beetles, holy, represented Capri, god of dawn. Scarabs rolled dung, symbolizing the sun rolling over the sky. Tiny scarab bracelets adorned wrists, tiny good luck charms. One tale tells of a love letter scarab sent from a scribe to his beloved. Each day I see your face is like seeing the sun. Imagine brisk winds sweeping them off her sleeve, tiny beetles falling like confetti. Lizards were less loved, but their presence meant a pest free home. So, quietly appreciated. Honey, liquid gold. Bees, divine engineers. Beekeeping was advanced. Clay hives stacked neatly in apiaries. Smoke kept the bees calm. Priests harvested honey for offerings, medicine, even for embalming. Queen bee mosaics appear in grave goods, symbolizing order and productivity. An anecdote tells of a hive that wandered off, carried by flood, later found, wandering in a farmer's field, who thought it holy and refused to eat the honey. Too sacred, he said. And so, tour guide, priest, and beekeeper had a heated discussion over tea. All these animals, cats, ibises, falcons, bulls, dogs, jackals, were woven into daily life. They inspired medicine, art, ritual, laws, humor. Care for a sick ibis? Take it to the temple vet. A real job. Fear a prowling jackal? Nicknames abounded. Rolf the Jackal for anyone too sneaky. Even garden pests took on mythic weight. One Egyptian joke goes, if your cucumber dies, blame Set. As the sun sets on the Nile and the creatures rest, we see a world that was alive, teeming with spirit, sacredness, laughter. The ancient Egyptians didn't just share space with animals, they shared their souls. They worshipped them, fed them, wrote poems to them, and yes, sometimes tripped over them in pitch darkness. Thank you for wandering with me among the sacred beasts of ancient Egypt. If this brought a sense of wonder, a smile, a moment of calm, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who might need a peaceful pause. Next time you see a cat stretch in the sun, remember, you're not just admiring a pet, you're touching an echo of divinity draped in fur. Until our next journey, may your days be blessed by small miracles and your night flanked by gentle guardians.